Hi and welcome to the Gymboree tutorial for setting up Access Link. Access Link will allow you to check in, record attendance and validate entry for students and customers in links without interrupting any of the daily operational activities that you're doing in links, such as looking up a customer profile or registering a student or looking at the visual scheduler. It will run in the background. So today let's look at the hardware that you need. Also check the COM ports, which will ensure that you're receiving the right input messages from the scanner, that you're enabled for port sharing. We'll then look at links and actually set up an access point, the access link configuration and a check-in station. It takes about 5 minutes. So firstly, in terms of hardware, you'll need two things. The first thing that you'll require for hardware is a scanner. We recommend the LS9208 scanner with a serial connection. That's not a USB connection, it requires a serial connection. You also need a key tag or membership card with a barcode that's allocated to your student or customer. So let's now just familiarize you with links, and when we refer to access, we're actually referring to one of the 8 standard modules in links. You'll see that circled there. It's important that we map what's called a COM port in the access monitor to one of the COM ports on your workstation or computer that you actually have the scanner plugged into. So you'll see here that links requires one of 8 COM ports to be mapped back to your computer. So what we're going to do now is look at your local workstation and make sure that we have one of those COM ports here. So here's the local workstation. Again, this is the computer that you have in your business. It's not the virtual machine that you log into. And we're just going to go to the Start menu and look for that COM port 1 of 8. So go into Computer and then just go to System Properties, and we'll click again on Device Manager. You'll see a menu here, and what we want to do is expand the port menu. Trying to identify a COM port. Great, COM port 1, fantastic. So this is what we're going to match to links when we set up our access module. Alright, now we're just going to check for a COM port on a laptop. So it's the same search. Go into System Properties here. We'll look at the Device Manager and extend the menu looking for ports. Very common with laptops that there's not a COM port to map into links. So in that case, you'll need a USB to serial converter for your scanner to enable you to plug the scanner into a USB connection. Just speak to your account manager about that. Okay, the final piece of the COM port check is now to allow the remote desktop to share ports with your workstation that you're using to scan in students. So what that means is when you log in to links via a remote desktop into the hosted version of links, you'll need to share your ports with that virtual server. So from the menu screen here, just click on Details and make sure that the ports box is checked, and then you'll be able to, the scanner will be able to send the input through to links. Okay, now we're logged in to the remote desktop connection, the virtual server that's hosting links for you there at Gymboree. What we're going to do first in terms of links is actually set up an access point. So just go to the admin module, and using the menu here, we'll click on Access Parameters. We want to make sure we have an access point set up. There's one already set up here called Reception. That's been chosen as the access point for scanning people in. You can set up multiple ones if you like, if you have multiple access points within your facility. Okay, now let's go into the access module. We have the 8 points, so just go to set up ports through administration there, and you'll see the 8 points that we looked at before. We need to again map one of those to the COM port on your workstation. So we've chosen COM port 1, and now we need to choose the access point, which is reception, which we just set up. Select input only here if all you're doing is scanning from a barcode scanner directly into links. The other options refer to turnstiles, and if they're not applicable, let's select input only. We want to check the student details. You also want to record an attendance for that student or customer. There are other options for members and visit passes as well. Make sure that the access is started, and that'll be referenced there with a green light on the COM port you've chosen. We want to display an error message if there's a non-valid attendance, and we also want to display that member's or student's name and details. So save those settings, and now we're ready to start the Links Access Monitor. So just click Start there. You will then have the option to hide the Access Monitor, which really just means that the Access Monitor will run in the background, and you now have a situation where you're able to start scanning people into Links. So you've got your scanner set up, your staff are doing their normal activities in Links, and Chloe Abbott has scanned in. Your staff will receive this message pop up on the screen, alerting them that it's an invalid entry, okay, that Chloe Abbott needs to go to reception. So at that point in time, they can address that directly. They can click through for more details. You'll see on the right hand side of the screen there's a display, and if they extend the visit history and have a look at that in more detail, they can look at every single person that scans in at any time. Those successful entries will just run in the background, and the error message will come up for those that are invalid. You'll see there's more detail from this screen. They can actually go through the customer profile as well. Some of the other alerts that you may see and that are important for outstanding accounts. So for family owes money, staff will certainly be alerted to that as well, and you'll see that error message there. Okay, and important as well, just to highlight, you'll see there's a transaction in the point of sale screen there. All of the scanning goes on while these activities are happening in point of sale, so there's no interruption to those typical activities. So that concludes the tutorial. Good luck with setting up Access Link. Just make sure you follow the steps to ensure you have the right hardware. Check your COM ports. Make sure that your computer's enabled for port sharing with the remote desktop. Then go into Links, set up your access point, ensure that Access Link is configured how you were just shown, and you're ready to go. Good luck.